Well, good evening. This is Professor Lewis with the Week 5 edition of the Introduction to Public Safety Administration. So let's first recap where we were with Week 4. Week 4, we had the opportunity to look at budgets, had the opportunity to look at how budgets affect public safety administration, and more importantly, you probably were working on your papers. So we've got all the papers. They're due on Sunday night by midnight. Hopefully everyone's turned theirs in by now. And I certainly want to send out a special thanks for those who share their papers so that others can learn from your research and your analysis of the incident that you wrote on. That topic is still open, so those of you who have not shared, I'd encourage you to do so. It doesn't affect your grade. It is optional. It certainly you shouldn't look at it as embarrassment or anything like that, but it's an opportunity to share. In fact, you might get some positive feedback from that. So please consider sharing if you haven't done so. I'll be working on the grades the next couple of days. I actually leave to go out of town on Thursday to go to Alaska to teach a class for the National Fire Academy. So I'm hoping to have those done before I go. If not, guess what I'll be doing while I'm in Alaska? Besides hunting moose and bear, I guess. So here we go. We go to week 5 now. Week 5, we're going to move to the topic of policy and how policy affects public safety administration. And we'll take a little bit of slant on that and talk about privatization. You always hear about privatization, taking certain facets of the business and turn it over to private enterprise, to the businesses, rather than try to do that. That's certainly, government often has to consider that. Is it something that we can do cheaper inside, or is it something that we could do cheaper outside? Or maybe not so much cheaper, but we support the economy by giving those jobs to the outside. And so we'll look at policy. We'll also look at different policy modes, and we'll look at privatization. And there's a couple of discussion topics to go to that. I know you just completed your larger paper, but it's now time to think about the other paper that you have. You only have 2 papers due. You have your research paper, and you have an executive briefing that you have to write for this class. The executive briefing is going to be on an issue that affects policy and public safety administration. So just think out of the box. What's a policy that may affect you? Maybe that you want to make a proposal for a change in work schedules. Maybe you want to make a change for maybe a recommendation for privatization, since that's the topic of the week. That maybe we should take a facet of our business and have business do it rather than try to do it. I'm really overworked in what I have to do, so maybe it would relieve that overwork by privatization. Think about that. Maybe the use of a technology, upgrading computers, adding drones. A lot of people wrote sometimes drones in public safety administration. So think about those, and maybe I'll present a few topics on the text part of this. I'll kind of look at some of the past papers, but think about that. It's only a short paper. It's only 3 to 5 pages, and what you need to think about, you go to the content area of there, and there's an area called writing help documents, and there's an area specific to the executive brief that'll give you some guidelines. So certainly look there. This week, I would like to kind of push you along and have you at least present your topic. Present your topic to what your executive briefing is going to be. And this is in week 5, and then the paper itself is due in week 7. But it is only a 3 to 5 page paper, because remember, you're writing it to an executive person. They don't have a lot of time. They don't need to read a 50 or 60 page paper. They only want to know, hey, what is the issue? How do we solve it? What are the recommendations? What's your proposal? And look at it that way. I think the little paper in the content area talks about either preparing for a written paper or an oral, and you'd have a PowerPoint. I don't want to see PowerPoints. I'd just like to see you give me a Word document that addresses what is the issue, how does it impact our organization, and what is your recommendation or proposal. So that kind of takes us to where we need to be. We're halfway through the semester, and so actually we'll start winding down quickly. So the discussions so far have been very good. I'm sure the papers are going to be very good. I look forward to reading them. If I don't get them graded before I go to Alaska, I guess when I make that 14-hour plane ride on Thursday, I'll have plenty of reading to do. So I'm going to cut off here at 5 minutes. So this is Professor Lewis, wishing you a good day, and we'll see you in the forums.